Top 10 Netflix Thriller Movies. Hey guys, welcome to your entertainment channel, Netflix Tops, where we will tell you about the top-rated movies and series on Netflix. So grab your popcorn and stay with us till the end of the video, because in today's video, we are going to list down the top 10 Netflix thriller movies. So let's get started. Number 10. A 2018 American psychological horror thriller film directed by Richard Shepard is titled The Perfection, and it is an entertaining but absolutely unbelievable film. The great screenplay uses flashbacks and many plot points that make the story funny, romantic, full of thrills, and horror. Charlotte was a one-time star pupil of the Backup Academy of Music, an elite music school outside of Boston, until she had to drop out to care for her dying mother. When troubled musical prodigy Charlotte comes back and seeks out Elizabeth, who is now the new star pupil of her former school, the encounter sends both musicians down a sinister path with shocking consequences. Number 9. A 2018 British thriller film written and directed by Matt Palmer is titled Calibre. The film is set in Scotland and concerns incidences on a hunting trip to the remote Scottish Highlands, and stars Jack Lowden and Martin McCann. Excellently shot and acted, and gutsy enough to not cop out when it counts, Calibre is one of the 2018's best genre efforts. The movie tells the story of Vaughn and Marcus, who have been friends since childhood. They decide to travel to a remote area of the Scottish Highlands for a hunting trip. However, the pair are tested to the limits when they face a thrilling situation which neither of them could have prepared for. A shocking deed turns their weekend trip into a nightmare, and now their only hope is to swallow their paranoia and act normal. Number 8. A 2021 Spanish action thriller and martial arts film, Extreme 2021, is directed by Daniel Benmeyer. The film follows a retired hitman along with his sister and a troubled teen who takes revenge on his lethal stepbrother. Although this movie is bombastically violent, it is thoroughly enjoyable and fantasy action movie with an approval rating of 52% on Rotten Tomatoes. The film revolves around Maximo, a high-ranked hitman belonging to the Barcelona gang. Maximo is loyal to his boss, who considers him as his son. However, Maximo wants to retire from gang life and move on. However, his life becomes a huge tragedy, and 2 years after the murder of his son and father, a retired hitman sets in motion a carefully crafted revenge plan against the killer who turns out to be his own brother. Number 7. Based on the 2018 novel of the same name by author A.J. Finn, The Woman in the Window is a 2021 American psychological thriller film directed by Joe Wright. The film follows an agoraphobic woman who begins to spy on her new neighbors and is witness to a crime in their apartment. Living in denial, the depressed, pill-popping child psychologist, Anna Fox, has holed herself up in her eerily vacant Manhattan brownstone apartment for the past 10 long months, after she separated from her husband and their 8-year-old daughter. While unsuccessfully grappling with agoraphobia and intense panic attacks, Anna decides to distract attention away from her problems by peeking into the lives of the unsuspecting new tenants who just moved into her neighborhood. Then, one night, she sees a deadly kitchen knife gleaming in the dim light, and before long, someone ends up dead. So, has troubled Anna indeed witnessed a gruesome scene of blood-stained domestic violence? Or is her wine-addled mind playing cruel tricks on her? Watch this movie to find out. Number 6. A 2021 American science fiction thriller film, Awake, directed by Mark Rasso, and it is a gripping thriller with a good twist and a fantastic medical plot device. The film follows the story of a global hysteria after a mysterious catastrophe hits the Earth, with humankind unable to sleep and think clearly, growing increasingly irrational and violent after an unprecedented global phenomenon that wipes out all of electronics. Jill, a former U.S. Army medic and widowed mother of 2, finds herself struggling to keep her kids safe. Now, as scientists all over the world seem to fight a losing battle, the mysterious worldwide plague of insomnia threatens to eradicate the entire human species. And undoubtedly, this is the end of the world as we know it. However, what if Jill's 10-year-old daughter, Matilda, holds the key to a cure? Can sleep-deprived Jill protect her children when everyone has only a few days to live? The amazing plot of this movie has answers to all of your questions. Number 5. A 2017 American thriller drama film titled 1992 is written and directed by Zach Hilditch, based on Stephen King's 2010 novella of the same name. The movie centers on simple but proud farmer Wilford James, who does not want to leave his farm, but his wife, Arlette, is determined to leave it behind and move to Omaha. So, with the reluctant help of his teenage son, murders his wife to gain ownership of her inherited land and hides her body inside a well. Shortly after, however, strange and supernatural occurrences begin to plague both James and his farm, including the swarms of rats just won't leave Wolf alone. But the question is whether it's Arlette's vengeful spirit who's driving him crazy, or is it the guilt of her unjust murder that is forcing Wolf to see things which are not there? Number 4. Part thriller and part murder mystery, The Most Assassinated Woman in the World is a 2018 French mystery thriller, and the debut feature film directed and produced by Franck Ribière. The film is set in the 1930s, when the leading lady of Grand Grenelle Theatre in Paris, Paula Maxa, is known for being murdered in every show on stage. Someone starts to notice that there's a link between these murders and a series of murders in real life. After a journalist visits Maxa in her dressing room, it becomes clear that Maxa's most assassinated title is more literal than anyone realizes. At the same time, a suspicion is brewing that Maxa's performances are inspiring real-life killings in Paris. It's a surprisingly fun and enthralling mystery about blurry lines that can exist between fantasy and reality. The film is the first Belgian film made for Netflix. Number 3. Based on Stephen King's 1992 novel of the same name titled Gerald's Game, is a 2017 crime thriller film directed and edited by Mike Flanagan, which was long thought to be unfilmable. The movie tells the story of a woman who accidentally kills her husband during a kinky game. Handcuffed to the bed with no hopes of rescue, she begins hearing voices and seeing strange visions. So a harmless game between a married couple in a remote retreat suddenly becomes a harrowing fight for survival. So in order to escape, Jessie must confront long-buried demons within her own mind, and possibly lurking in the shadows of her seemingly empty house. Number 2. A 2021 American supernatural horror film, The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, also known as The Conjuring 3, is directed by Michael Chavez. The film serves as a sequel to The Conjuring 2013 and The Conjuring 2 2016, and has earned a score of 55% on Rotten Tomatoes. The movie tells a chilling story of terror, murder, and unknown evil that shocked even experienced real-life paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren. The evil in the movie becomes one of the most sensational cases from their files, and it starts with a fight for the soul of a young boy, then takes them beyond anything they'd ever seen before. To mark the first time in US history that a murder suspect would claim demonic possession as defense, an interesting plot of the story made it a major hit in the box office, earning $202 million. Number 1. A 2019 Spanish social science fiction horror film directed by Galder Gaztulu-Urrutia. The Platform delivers its moral message with the mechanics of a lean thriller. With its sharp social commentary and its widely dark humor, The Platform has earned a score of 79% on Rotten Tomatoes and is definitely worth your watch. The film is set in a large tower-style vertical self-managed center. Its residents, who are switched every 30 days between its many floors, are fed via a platform which, initially filled with food at the top floor, gradually descends to the tower's levels, stopping for a fixed amount of time on each. The system inevitably leads to conflict, as the residents at the top level get to eat as much as they can, with each level getting only the leftovers from the previous ones. As the film continues, we see the desperate and savage measures the facility's inhabitants are willing to take on to keep what they have and to get what they don't. And this brings us to the end of the video. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel for amazing movie reviews coming your way. And thank you for watching.